Are you buying a home using an FHA loan and have questions about FHA? Then this video is for you. My name is Jeb Smith. I'm a real estate broker here in Southern California, and in today's video we're going to discuss the most 10 frequently asked questions when it comes to using FHA financing to buy a home. So if your question isn't addressed in this video, do me a favor, comment below. We'll go back and address it for you. And also, I'd like to ask a favor. If you're new to me, new to my channel, it's all about real estate, helping buyers, helping sellers, whether it's buying a house, selling a house, or mortgage finance. So if that's of interest to you, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. And give us a thumbs up if you like the content. So let's start today with our first question. So today's first question is going to be, are FHA loans just for first-time home buyers? And the answer is no. FHA loans commonly get associated with first-time home buyers, typically because FHA allows a minimum down payment of 3.5%. But FHA loans can be used by anyone, whether you're buying a home for the 5th time, the 10th time, the first time, it doesn't matter, but just understand it has to be owner occupied. Today's second question is going to be, is FHA just for low-income borrowers? And the answer to that is also no. Again, FHA loans typically get associated to low-income buyers just because they allow lower credit scores, lower down payments, and when people typically think of lower down payments and lower credit scores, they associate that with low-income buyers. The reality is any buyer can use FHA loans when buying a home, so it's not just for low-income buyers. Today's third question is, can the down payment be gifted? And the answer is yes. FHA allows the full down payment, all of the closing costs, to be a gift. So if you have a friend, family member, someone that is willing to gift you the money, you can use that for the down payment and towards closing cost. Today's fourth question, can the seller pay closing costs? Yes, the seller can pay your closing cost up to 6% when using an FHA loan to buy a property. But just understand, when using FHA or any other loan for that matter and asking for closing costs to be paid, that is something that is typically negotiated as part of your original purchase contract and not done after the fact. So if you're a buyer and you want the seller to pay for closing costs or a portion of it, make sure you're discussing that with your agent prior to submitting your offer so that they can build that into the original offer. Today's fifth question, how long do FHA loans take to close? There's some stigma out there that FHA loans take longer to close than conventional loans, and the reality is they do not. I have buyers in this market getting loans closed in 30 days, so I would say that they're very comparable with conventional loans on time frame, but just confirm with your mortgage lender when you're getting an FHA loan with regards to their time frames. Each lender is a little bit different, so they may be able to make it happen in 30 days. They may need a little bit more time, but most lenders can close an FHA loan as quickly as they can close a conventional loan. Today's sixth question, is FHA easier to qualify for than conventional? And the answer is yes. FHA allows lower credit scores. They also allow higher DTI, so debt to income ratio, which basically means they allow you to spend more of your income towards debt than a conventional loan. So most buyers will qualify for FHA over conventional. So yes, FHA loans are easier to qualify for conventional because of the lower credit scores and higher debt to income ratios. Today's seventh question, is there a minimum credit score with FHA? The answer is yes. FHA requires at least a 500 credit score in order to do a loan. So that is significantly lower than anything conventional will allow. But understand that if you're below 580 credit score, that FHA requires a 10% down payment versus being over 580 where they only require a 3.5% down payment. Also understand that not all lenders do credit scores down in the low 500s, so it may require a little bit more work, a little bit more searching to find someone that can do that loan, but the minimum guidelines for FHA is a 500 credit score. Today's seventh question, is PMI on FHA really for the life of the loan? The answer is yes. PMI is always on the loan as long as you have an FHA loan, but understand that's not necessarily a negative. Don't avoid FHA because the MI is on the loan for the life of the loan, because most people don't have one loan for the entire duration of the loan. Most people either refinance at some point in the future and take out a lower rate, or they have equity in the property that's beyond that 20% and they can refinance into a conventional loan. So while PMI is always on the loan with FHA, most people aren't going to have that loan forever. So it shouldn't really be a problem for most people when considering FHA and PMI. Today's 8th question: are FHA rates lower than those of conventional loans? And the answer is generally yes, especially as you get into the lower credit scores where conventional won't even do lending. 620 conventional is going to be very, very hard to do, whereas FHA, you can definitely get an FHA loan. So rates are likely going to be more favorable for doing FHA over conventional, but understand that if you have a large down payment, your credit scores are really good, conventional financing is probably going to offer you the better of the loan. But with regards to interest rates, FHA rates are typically lower than conventional. Question number 9 is, do I have to pay off collection accounts when using an FHA loan? And that question is going to depend on how much you have in collection accounts. If you have an aggregate amount over $2,000 of collection accounts, then you are going to have to take 5% of the balance as your payment on those collection accounts, and that's factored into your DTI. Whereas if you have less than $2,000 of collections as a whole, they don't need to be paid off and they're not factored in to the debt to income ratio. So that question is going to depend on how much you have. But hopefully, if you have less than 2,000, or hopefully you have less than 2,000, then you don't have to worry about it. And understand that if they've been charged off, they're not included. But if they are a collection account, regardless of how old it is, and it's over that 2,000, they're going to take 5% of that balance and use that as the payment as part of your DTI. What are the requirements for getting an FHA loan? And for that, what I'm going to do is actually link you to a video here that you can check out that I filmed a couple of weeks ago where I discussed FHA requirements. And I'll also link to it in the description below if you want to go that way as well. But that gives you a very detailed description of how to get an FHA loan, what is required in today's market as an FHA loan 2020, so that you can get that information. Because if I did it here, it would make this video very, very long, and I'd rather keep it short so that you can get the information you need and watch that video later if you're actually looking to get an FHA loan. But I appreciate you taking the time to watch today. As I mentioned earlier, if you have additional questions that we didn't mention here, do me a favor, comment below. Also, as I mentioned, I'm a real estate broker, not a mortgage lender. So if you are looking to get a loan, regardless of what state you're in, do me a favor, email me directly. My email is jeb@jebsmith.net. And I'm happy to connect you with someone in your state that can help you. As a real estate broker, I get nothing from mortgage lenders when referring people out. So I'm only here to help guide you through that process and provide you with somebody who can actually take care of you. There's no benefit to me other than making sure you get taken care of. And if you're looking to buy a house, I can connect you with a real estate agent in another state as well. And if you're in Southern California, would love to chat. But for now, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your support. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.